stalker Diana? Now, this is all stuff that I did not know. And this series, as a matter of fact, all day today, it's already been criticized, saying, oh, this is all old news. People already know all this stuff. Hey, there's some people that don't. I don't agree with that assertion. I think that there's a lot of people that have been fed Diana's narrative by the whatever it may, I was going to say by the palace, by the media, and maybe even by the palace back then. They wanted to keep her looking like Harry. They wanted to keep Harry looking like the fun uncle. They wanted to keep her looking like the angelic being. But when you're talking about this stalker reputation, I mean, some of this stuff that we're about to read, eek. After Diana's affair with married art dealer Oliver Hoare, her emotions spiraled into something tabloids couldn't ignore. Reports emerged that she bombarded him with phone calls. Not a handful, literally hundreds. Often at odd hours. These weren't quick check-ins. They were long, insistent, relentless. It painted a picture of a princess not in control but consumed. See, that's not how she looks. When I look at that photo, that right there doesn't match what I just read. That's crazy. And maybe this is something that people don't want to accept. I know there's a lot of Diana fans that I have as subs. Probably they don't want to watch this content that I'm putting out. And that's okay. Hey, we can agree, we can disagree. We come here together every single day. It's okay. I think that's interesting though, right? Even I fell for it. Normally, the press loved to cast Diana as the victim of intrusion, hounded by long lenses and reporters, but in this case, even the tabloids switched tones. Headlines described her behavior in terms of normally being reserved for those chasing her, obsessive, harassing, even stalking. For once, Diana wasn't the hunted, she was the hunter. Damn. You know who I need to talk about this? I need to talk to Paula. Next week, I'm going to go on the Royal Mess Live next week. I haven't been on in about 3 weeks. I'm going to try and go like once a month, keep it really good. And I'm going to talk to her about this. I want her to hear some of these things. Friends of Hoare were outspoken, even concerned. What turned the whispers into a scandal was that Hoare's circle confirmed it. Friends confirmed it. I want to hear some people hear this. Friends and associates went on to record saying they were worried about the intensity of Diana's pursuit. Really? Her? Jeez. She looks harmless. She looks harmless. But maybe that's the point. She's just really hot. It wasn't just gossip. Oh, no. A woman capable of hounding a married man. Oh, no, that's the next one. On the record saying they were worried about the intensity of Diana's pursuit. It wasn't just gossip column spinning drama. People close to the man himself felt that Diana crossed lines. That gave the story teeth and credibility. Wow. Okay, the next one. This detail slices through the carefully built narrative of her. A woman capable of hounding a married man with nightly phone calls isn't fragile or passive. Well, if you look at what we're hearing all day today and then versus what we know from the press or everything, the whole way, it's kind of the same with Meghan, where you see, if you go back and look at, like, let's say you and I, right, we were wiped clean and we didn't know anything about Meghan Markle. If you were to go back and look at the PR, what's been out there, and if you were to go from real headlines about Meghan, you would believe that she's the nicest person in the world. And you would think that Meghan Markle can't possibly be obsessed with Princess Catherine. She can't possibly be stalking Catherine and the royal family. No, she's warm, loving, and kind. See? It's the same thing. It's kind of scary. It's getting kind of scary now. Maybe these two people are the same. But we were all just thinking about looks, where Diana's really beautiful and Meghan looks like what she looks like. She's active, flawed human. It complicates the idea of Diana as solely innocent, a cornered princess. Well, that's what she obviously was. At least that's what it seems, right? That's what she obviously was painted as. This angle will be erased to preserve Diana's halo. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that a lot of the stuff that we've been saying all day, and we have 7 more parts to this series, a lot of this stuff isn't talked about. And I would even go as far as saying a lot of the people that are fans of her right, they would disagree with me even making this kind of content. I could see that being erased, or nobody wants to talk about it because it's not very good. For Harry and Netflix, the stalker narrative is radioactive. It clashes. Well, it's radioactive because it's literally Meghan as well. It clashes with the saintly image of Diana as kind, compassionate, and tragically misunderstood. I'm gonna have to push back on that. I think she was both, right? She, like with Meghan, this is the thing. With Meghan, we know she doesn't care. We know it's fake. No, with this woman, she cared. You know, you can go back and watch her. You can go back and look at the stuff. I guess, right? You have to look at it that way too. Maybe that was all a lie too. It was just an act. But I don't think there's anything such as a mask drop for Diana the way there is for Meghan. You know, this is a conversation to be had right here. Damn. This is a real conversation to be had. That little ending right there, that really cuts through. Maybe these two people are kind of the same. Imagine how many times Meghan was calling Harry. Imagine. We'll probably find out about that after the divorce. That's not the Diana they want audiences to remember, so this chapter will never make the cut of Netflix. It will remain buried in the archives of tabloid ink. Well, that's probably what people are going to say. Oh, that's just tabloid. Those are rumors. Well, everything about Meghan is rumors. See, but for me, if you really want to look at Diana and her beauty and her compassion and her kindness, it all feels real. If you really want to look at Meghan and her compassion and her kindness and her warmth, that doesn't. See, that's the difference. That's the difference right there. That's the biggest one. So when you want to talk about Diana as this says, obsessive and not fragile or passive, right? When you want to talk, she probably was both. She probably really, 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 really cared, right? But then she was really, really kind of a stalker.